Hi. My name is Kenrael Bay. Um, Here and now, I want to say an invocation on the record. All parasitic energies, all memory cry, all things that are not of my highest sovereignty and truest light will leave here and now. All things that are looking to sell my essence on the black market or any other digital crime, copy and paste my essence to then distort. You will be banished here and now. For this space, only love can enter and remain, as all things that I share are within truth and within my highest decree, as I belong solely to the Divine Mother. Thank you. Now, shall we commence? I am Kenrael. If you are new here, I typically share things directly from experience or inner messages I receive from my soul, higher self, that are permitted to share or be shared from the Divine Mother. Basically, here just to be myself as a sovereign witness into these instances that are true, real, and has happened. Or I speak from observations and or things that has been shared to me along the way, and then I have been given the gift to perceive such things for myself. Right? This usually helps. But I don't know, I've been feeling like can't breathe with no air. And I'm feeling real uncomfortable right now. Okay? So I just gotta take my time. I'm gonna do that instead. It's been gray skies and a cloudy arena around here lately, so y'all pay attention to that sun where you are, cause it's real. Now I'm here to remain on track to what I want to share in this moment. But I give so much thanks again to the real, to my divine guardians. I hold, right? Right. Um, yeah. So how are you all from where you are? Because things are not the most easiest on this side either. Yet this is why I also commend myself and I thank myself for coming up here in the midst of such circumstances, right? To still be willing to share such honesty so that way it can help not only myself later on. I do rewatch my videos because I learned so much wisdom from myself. Higher self be spitting. So today I wanted to share this time. Um, I must make this clear to all googly eyed spirits and ones that tend to copy and paste what I say and share on your channels when it does not make any sense whatsoever, because you did not live through these things or witness anything either. So just know, only all things that are of sovereignty and of the highest light can be able to enter. Anything else will be burned. by the eternal flame that you cannot contest in. So stop um, attempting to break universal laws. As I give up all things to be weighed on that scale, and let judgment herself balance all things back to equilibrium, I decree. So, this is the night of the blue light. Okay, a moment that I had a OBM experience. I guess that's the term. So later on, now I'm being shown from my guardians the actual things that has now been labeled from the spiritual aspects, because usually I just go through these things and I do my best to interpret them from what is being shown myself. So it has been such a joyful time as well to finally put these things not only into action but into wordplay. So truthfully, this was a interesting memory from my inner child, because we're all for adventure and seeing things outside of the mundane. So, witnessing from inner sight that I have. And I also saw this with my dad at the time. And uh, so, I literally, with things that I have grown witness to, it was always implanted in my ear. Don't speak on them because you do not know who you are speaking to. And I still go by that to a certain extent without holding myself into a cage any longer. But have I met some interesting I don't even want to call them people, but have I met some interesting beings here? Yes, I have. So I actually miss coming on here, sharing some things. It's been a minute. Um, I just found out how much your bones actually carry memory. So literally, from the root up to the crown, and things that's going on to the planet, I'm feeling it all outside of my own ailments, and it can be an uncomfortable feeling. I'm grateful because it helps me to hold even more stillness for myself while I do my best to rebalance. But it is something serious, you know. Um, outside of the environment, and I posted a bit more on my Tik. I don't know what I was gonna call that thing, TikTok or whatnot, on the latest events, I suppose. But I don't like to do too much talking um, until divine order go ahead and show me what is real, right? Because truly and always, I will remain a sovereign witness to this thing. So I'm in the observer seat, but that don't make it any easier. So I do my best to come on up here and share with everyone. So there was a period or moment when I was young, And I used to see giant ships all the time over the house. All the time. Just hovering. They were, imagine, bigger than a pirate ship. And it was all dark. Some of them had tiny holographic holes on them. Some of them was just straight dark. It was something. So they weren't just faint lights. They were massive, luminous bodies in the sky. It was so common for me. Uh, each time they came around, I knew go outside and plant my feet. So I'd be just hugging the trees while I witness it. It was this one giant tree in the backyard, and I named him Peter. And it was so common. I honestly felt that they were watching over me. So one night, something that I still remember to this day happened, and after it happened, I'm not sure. See, this is why it's very important to be present, because if you have been implanted with false memories, you literally have to study and go back to your childhood to know what else has taken place or what has really taken place. Because after seeing this, I remember seeing like a swap out memory, maybe about, it wasn't right after, it was actually during that 9/11 thing, and that's when a lot of swapped out memories came. And it was weird how it was done. It was very weird. But we done gone through some periods of forgetful moments, quote unquote. But I remember. And so on this day, something unforgettable happened. There was blue lights under the door. And I remember being downstairs, and it was like a door that led to the backyard or whatnot. And everyone seemed frozen. And when I replayed it, I could see everything. But when they came in, it was like, if you saw that movie, Predator versus Alien, but not all of them is there to uh, create distortions. It's some things going on. That's all I'm gonna give y'all. But they had what looked to be um is locks, and their faces was covered. So you know they was some melanin beings. But for some reason I wasn't afraid or nothing. I just was looking. And when I say everything seemed to have stopped, like time itself, I just remember. So a part of this is where I don't really want to bring them up too much, so I'm gonna call them them. Where them was saying when they came in, they wasn't able to move out of the bed. So like that uh, paralysis thing, when you unable to move but your eyes is up and you can see, or at least where your eyeballs can follow to the movements around. So it was just a great pause, right? Let me see where I left off at. Because like I mentioned, the memories got definitely wonky afterwards, but then as time went on, the whole truth of the matter started returning to myself. But like I mentioned, it felt calm. I'm not really too sure what the meeting was about. Um, I almost feel like it was something been done. Like they didn't approach me or anything. They was just looking. So it didn't really feel to be against us either. So I couldn't see them directly, but I could feel, like at the time, I could feel them. But afterwards, I was actually able, they was showing their presence to me. So I actually did see them in there. You know, they show themselves when they feel like you won't at everything, you know. So over time, I was actually able to see their presence. Although I wasn't really too sure what has taken place in that moment when I was younger, I knew it was real. That was some serious stuff. But now looking back at it, as I really self-reflected, because this actually, and sometimes we may go through an experience where we're like, nah, I just want to forget about it, but I didn't necessarily want to forget. The memories went um, like intentional, but it didn't feel like by them either. It was a lot of interference happening too, um, around as well, and I always was just susceptible to both sides pretty much. So that's so funny because my younger me had a way she wanted to share this story like, yo, this what happened. It was a cosmic initiation. So to me, those great ships were a sign of cosmic guardianship. So a reminder for myself that my life has always been under divine watch. um I'm not really too sure, like, uh the pertinency on certain color spectrums and how it is related to certain energies. But for me, blue represents the calmness and divinity, as well as wisdom and working with your throat chakra. But I feel like when anything is in imbalance, then that's when it can become destructible against the user, right? So yeah, but we're not just one, we're all. When you become, or when you turn back into alignment. So yeah, so for a very very long time, I knew the things that was trying to box people in to do this, hammer you down, bind you from all of these institutions and things of that sort. I knew that was not going to work for me because I was already seeing the truth. The things was always around me. Even um Freemasons coming to initiate one of my parents and all of this stuff. I was already grown witness to these things, and I decided to choose my own path and step off of that karmic wheel of reincarnation that the false ones call it. Y'all ones keep calling on to come back here again. I ain't doing that. So I'm putting it on the record. I belong solely to the Divine Mother, right? Okay. My divine guardians who watch over me daily, above and below. No matter how tested I be in the physical, They are literally there. Still, just it don't get any easier. Ooh. So, that actually brings me to me. This is more than just nostalgia. Like, it has a purpose to this, right? Because I feel as though this experience is only going to bring or shed more light to more things that is about to really show up, and is not from out there. It's already been here, which is why it wasn't no force to even reveal themselves in the first place. But my thing is, when you listening to a lot of the false lights and using up your energy to worship something, when the divine mother never asked to be worshipped in the first place, then you know you're going to be bamboozled out here, right? So don't get bamboozled. See, back against the tree, back against the tree. She keeps watching me. Call me what you want, you devil, you God. I don't give a who. I'm gonna live free. I'm back against the tree. Back against the tree. Back against the tree. To know her is to know something very, 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 very beautiful. I am her daughter, and Mama Earth does not play about this one. It still hurts, but it is what it is. So, do what you must. And when I used to see the ship, this wasn't no um peeping through the window. I'm literally outside, and they come at night. You know, which is the best time because it's a different frequency at night. Um, but yeah, you know, I'm aware too. The Divine Mother wants me to remain childlike as possible. So, for the real strategic explanations and stuff, y'all gotta go I already mentioned where y'all can follow up. Cause I'm not gonna do all that. I get sleepy a lot quicker now. You know, I ain't here to answer all of that. I'm just gonna share what I know. Back against the tree, back against the tree. They definitely or we got work to do. I had a whole little thing put together and did not read any of it. Because back then, I put up the middle finger for anything. Like, see it? for anything. That was me back then. If I could find uh one of them photos, middle fingers up. That's how I knew them guardians was as real as me. That's why I was like, all that stuff, that play talking, that type of little thing. No, nature is real. Nature is not enjoying being stepped on without a care. No, 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 no. So let her take back what is rightfully hers. So yeah, it's very difficult to go through these things and then even uh, just go out. You coming back from Pleasure Island or whatever. You see the truth, and then you leave that island, and you like, I can't go back. I can't go back into that mess. Yeah, they saying there's no rules here, or maybe they making up their own rules, like they doing now. Follow these. It started with 10 to now 40,000, 142, however many they keep making up now. Just to still send people in a circle. So it's interesting. But it is real. I want to talk about this OBM thing. I'm trying to find out the actual meaning for it. Back against the tree. Back against the tree. Back against the tree. Back against the tree. Remember me. Won't you remember me? Remember me. Remember me. Back against the tree. Back against the tree. Back against the tree. Back against the tree. Won't you remember? Remember me. Remember me. Oh, here we go. Remember me. Remember me. Back against the tree. Back against the tree. Back against the tree. Remember me. Yeah, I definitely just sat here and made this on a whim. Here we go. So this was another moment. I just wanted to see. Because I was taught a lot of things. Look, I don't know. It might just be what, OBM, out of body. I don't know. I know most nowadays are or been taught to forcefully leave your bodies, and that is not what this was at all. And I can tell my guardian spirit always has been watching over me, because if there was an instance as a child where I was out of my body, I knew better than to leave it. I didn't ever leave. I didn't ever leave it. But this is how this happened. Um, I basically was uh, I don't recall the exact age, but I remember it was a school day, and I was sick, or whatever. I remember this from detail to detail, and I was having a Mr. Crow. He been crowing since I stepped outside. Mr. Crow. Watch they start coming to me. Um, so I stayed home. I wasn't feeling good. It was me in there, what we call the den. It's like this little part of the house. And my grandmother was sitting there. Oh, I miss her. She was sitting there watching Wheel of Fortune. It was on that box little TV. That thing was gray. That big box. It ain't had no antennas, but it was just a big gray box. And I'm telling you, everything looked so vivid. She had newspapers in her hand, and I'm in this little. She was sitting on something, and I was laying down on this little thing. But I was little, so I can rest there. I was sleeping there. I remember I was laying on my stomach. This how much I remember. And but I'm actually they communicating, but I was actually asleep. And this is what I saw in the spirit travel, right? I found myself actually aboard a large ship, and it was moving. It was purple skies, and it was a lot of shooting, like it was a war going on around me. And it was these tiny beings. They looked exactly like it was a commercial that they later created. That nasal X thing, something that they telling you to blow up in your nose. Really, they was just preparing you for that COVID thing later on. Put this in your nose. Put that. They do a lot with children's imagination. They test a lot. They create a lot. But that's exactly what them things look like. And that commercial used to come on so much back in the day. They almost look like two in that movie, that basketball movie. I don't recall his name, but that player. uh, that used to be the movie back then. But and they had the Looney Tunes characters in it, and they was playing basketball. Those little ones that they was saying, oh, they from another planet or whatnot, and they had that little championship game for the Earth. It was those same things, and they were shooting these guns on this ship, and I was running, but I never got hit or harmed. So still, I was being shown early on proof of early protection and training. So I remember hearing a voice, someone yelling, "Duck!" and "Go this way." So I just listened because it was active. It was real active. So that also early on was showing me that my guides were leading me safely even in psychic war zones. So what happened next, it got even like wow. I ended up floating out of my body. So my spirit was actually pretty big for my body to be so little. I got a big spirit. I'm giant for real. So I'm there, but I didn't move. I'm right in the center of the room, and I can see everything around me. And I'm hearing conversations. I could see people coming in and out of the back door. I'm hearing everything, and all while I'm just resting. Uh, so yeah, I told y'all what my grandma was watching on that telecom thing, right? So this was also proof of the astral sensitivity and ability that I had to observe both worlds. But this was the wildest thing, and I'm still not too sure how to describe it or even where they went. But the beings that was shooting guns that was in the spirit travel, they ended up jumping out from me sleeping, and they was running around in the physical world and causing a lot of chaos. Like, one of them was just running around. They was knocking. They was knocking. Another one turned on a fan. It was like a white fan. They turned it on. So then things just started. Either I don't know what was going on, but they was just running around, and then I remember them running in a certain direction. And all I know is uh, they was making a mess. But for some reason, it was like only some inanimate objects they can really touch and move. But when it came to like the people that was around, what happened? Hold up, y'all. I hope this is still going. But when it came to like the people, I suppose they couldn't see, they couldn't hear, or they wasn't really being affected much. So what that was representing, intrusive energy being expelled, either from, because I wasn't feeling well at the time, and then of course psychic attack was happening, or karmic residue. That's what popped up. But that still was real interesting. And before they left, that's right, before they left, they hammered my eyelids shut. And that's when I started screaming. So they actually had a hammer and literally hammered both my eyelids shut. And I saw the nails and everything. That was the most intense moment ever. So what I'm finding out was they tried to seal my sight, spiritually and physically, to keep me from awakening too soon. So even as a child, I still had that fight in me, because I was still out my body, but I was right there in the center. So what I was trying to do was get my grandma to wake me up. So I'm screaming, nothing worked. But I recall she had newspapers in her hand that she was reading. I even attempted to turn down the TV to get her attention, anything. But what worked was knocking the newspapers or making them flutter. So now she's looking around because she dropped the newspapers, but it was me. And then she looked immediately towards me and then decided to wake me up. So that is how I got out of that. But it did take longer than usual. And that was, oh my gosh. I'm actually sharing this experience with y'all. Because for years I was like, did that really happen? But I returned. So, yes, it indeed happened. That's why I can remember so clearly. So, with the early initiation, I was being taught early on that dark forces would try to silence and disable my sight, but I have the power to call for help and come back. Proof of protection also. I was never abandoned. Guides, ancestors, and even my own soul, self, were intervening to get me safely back into my body. So never, never, never. I know people, oh, I go to other people's homes and listen and spy on them and astral project, but the longer you leave your body, something else can and will inhabit it. So I know my uh, divine spirit team did not play that. Um, Things like that didn't happen that frequently right after that experience, but a lot has been done, and a lot I had to forge a way to ensure that I am whole and complete. Because they sneaky. These things are very sneaky. So, but since then, I definitely restored my sight. Um, your third eye crown. You don't want to be put to sleep out here. And been able to expose these hidden things and help others wake up as well. So, a lot goes on to dismantling these systems and sharing what it really is without being caught too much into its web. Uh, I want to share this invocation. I revoke and remove all rights to my name, body, and soul from the black market in my system that seeks to trade. Oh, in any system that seeks to trade on me. I do not belong to debt, fraud, or enslavement. I am written in the book of life under the Divine Mother. What is mine is inherently mine. Cease and desist in full erasure. My name glows in gold, sealed forever. Okay? Nobody's gonna be up to this except high self, soul, and me finally coming up here to share these things. I am not a part of any group uh, or anything out there, any kumbayas and stuff. I'm not. I'm just not. Right. For the record, on the record, I decree. I'm actually grateful to be able to be here today and share this thing. Um, it is real, and I'll do my best to show up more often. But it's gonna take um, some support as well, as I am taking my time and ensuring that I am healthy and I remain sovereign. So, when I get more things in order, I haven't, this is stuff not really meant for me to rush through because I'm already sharp. In the meantime, it's going to be a lot of running out there. So, my reminder before leaving would be stay still as possible. Listen to your intuition and know what is true from false. Many are in chokeholds. Many are in chokeholds. Something else too. Um, During my recent experience, my body has been calmly telling me, hey, pay attention to what you observe, watch, listen to. So you want to keep things high vibrational as possible while raising the discernment because, yeah, you're going to meet them, right? That's now trying to merge their way back onto your timeline, shapeshift their way back into your timeline, or just simply call their way back onto your timeline. If they ain't seen you before, I advise you, don't open that door to be seen now. Keep it closed. Keep it closed. Because they all are not who they say or claiming to be. It's been a lot of astral probing too. They doing anything and whatever. Um, Making up stories. Hey, you remember me? Nah. You remember way back? Nah. Oh, this happened. I was there. Nah, you wasn't there. Serious. They coming up with whole stuff. Trying to insert themselves in something. So, mm, I don't like that ting there. Uh, I usually stay away from them tings. It's just not for me. Um, you know, to even come around and just make up things, it's just not for me. Since my high self is like, go ahead, you know, so you know you're not crazy. Go ahead and keep it to the highest degree and share what you know. So here I am. Because these are not no words from another, just simply what I know, saw, witnessed, and came back from. While I'm still living here with dignity, integrity, and strength. How you're not able to see that? It was a flock of birds that just went into threes. Like they made three loops. So this is real interesting. Something else just opened up here. So there's not a second to be wasted. We're keeping it high over here. Vibrations. As I ride